There is a secret to understanding yourself and your identity that I wish everyone knew. It's not even really a secret. It's just that a lot of people don't think about it that way. Is your identity is entirely yours to craft. There's no set path. Your parents are your parents, your culture is your culture, your community was your community, what you were taught was what you were taught, your peers are your peers. You still got to decide exactly how you want to exist in this world. There is no, I am someone who blank. It is not fixed. You get to decide how you engage with everything in this world. And I don't mean identity in the way of an white person being able to say that they're an Asian person. That's not what I'm talking about. Because I'm sure there are people who will misconstrue my words and think that I mean that. I mean in terms of you thinking that you're someone who is not able to blank. The mom is like this. I'm just not someone who can do X, Y, Z. Usually figure out a TV remote. Travel in this way. Do a 2-month road trip. Constantly is saying, I am not someone who. Because if you say that, then it's true. But those are more obvious examples. The more insidious ones are identities that we've embodied that have actually gotten us to where we want to go. The striver, the overachiever, the perfectionist, the organizer, the planner. These identities that or even titles, founder, athlete, entrepreneur, CEO, marketer, operator, tech person, whatever it may be. They might have gotten you to wild success. Maybe you've even achieved some of your grandest goals because of these identities, because of these skills that you think made you you. That I'm just like this. I'm just someone who blank. I am this person. But when we go through major identity shifts, because we followed that path and then it didn't work, it ended in some kind of failure. Or actually, maybe even if you succeeded, but failures like divorce, bankruptcy, a company being not successful, a product not making it to market, or even when your wildest dreams are achieved, selling your company, making millions, getting the corner office, buying your dream apartment, making a family. And then you're like, oh shit, the striver that got me here maybe isn't who I want to be, or it's not actually whole, or who else am I beyond this thing? And anytime we're faced with the opportunity, I think of it as that because I get super excited for people when they're at this stage. I'm like, oh my God, you don't understand. You get to reimagine what else life could be. And that's beautiful. You get to bring more alignment into your life, but people are terrified because they're just like, holy fuck, the person that I thought I was that got me here is not who I want to be going forward. What do I do? Or I'm incomplete getting to this point. What do I do? Or I'm not just my company. I'm not just my family. I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a CEO, whatever. What else am I? You get to decide. Removing everyone else. And it is a beautiful opportunity. It is such a place to be creative, to build from within, to realize your true self. Self-realization, self-actualization, those things come into play, and it's an incredible thing. But people are terrified because there's security in being able to say, I am blank. I am someone who blanks. I do blank. And when you've understood your value in that way, and you value yourself in that way, it's really hard to realize you need to shift or evolve or reimagine. Because you're like, fuck, I had the safety here. And now I don't feel safe. I'm on this ledge and it doesn't feel secure below me. But the process of aligning yourself to what's true and not basing it off anything else, not a drive that was fueled by society or capitalism or your parents, not a goal that someone had set for you and you just really didn't question anymore, whether society or your peers, when you are no longer constrained by all the ways that you could exist and be, and it's entirely up to you to design that, to create that, to choose that. It's incredible because you get to fully be yourself. And I think what scares a lot of people about that is if you have never fully valued yourself as you, that's actually what you have to learn, because the opportunity is for you to be you and to be loved and accepted and valued for it. Because that's often a major part of our identity that we are not encouraged to explore. The world wants us to be something else, to get certain grades, to act certain ways, to follow certain rules, to exist within the economy in a certain way, to be productive, to be efficient. Partners want us to be different. Friends want us to be different. Parents want us to be different. They want us to be who would be easier for them to be with. But that's not why you're here. You're not here to make other people's lives easier. You can, in the process of being you, and you can find the people whose lives you will make better by being you, but you don't exist to make other people's lives easier or better. You exist to be yourself. And the freedom that so many of us want exists in that space. True freedom comes from you being able, without thinking, strategizing, planning, to simply show up and be and feel and experience and express exactly as you are, anywhere, anytime, with anyone, in any circumstance. And it doesn't mean you'll be perfect. It doesn't mean you will never offend anyone. It doesn't mean that people will not like you sometimes. It just means that you can be yourself at all times, and you trust yourself to deal with any situation that you're going to encounter. That there's no circumstance that you would be afraid of, because you're fully embodied, you're fully actualized, you're fully whole. And that's kind of the work of reimagining your identity and realizing it. Because while you can both be anyone you want to be, the person you are here to be is simply you. You can decide to be someone else who is not you, who does not feel true, but then that's just another mask. When I say you can reimagine your identity, I mean freed from what it previously was, which oftentimes wasn't solely defined by us, didn't come solely from us. It came from our training, from our conditioning, from our culture, from our, guidance from our parents. It came from our childhood, from our schooling, from our work. The opportunity is to shed all of that, to deprogram all of that, and to come back to yourself. And to draw out all the things that are already here, all the things you want to create and generate, all the interests that you're drawn to, all the habits and expressions that you want to make. All the habits you want to develop, and all the, I lost the word. But those are of your choosing. And I guess that's a really scary place, because there's no template. And even if the previous identities we embodied weren't true to us to a degree, wholly or partially, there was at least a path. Someone was telling you, oh, you're on the right path. Here's a star. Here's a dollar. Here's a medal. When you're on your own path, which is the path we're here to be, all of us, but realizing it can feel really lonely because there's no one else who can do it. There's no one else to tell you how to do it. I work with clients to guide them in that process, but I don't tell them how they can do it. They have to figure out for themselves because they have to decide who they are or reconnect with who they are. And then we can figure out practices to further embody it. But until they can draw out who they are, when they can kind of reimagine, recreate, recenter themselves in themselves, there's nothing for me to guide to. A lot of the work the first part of the work is drawing it out, helping you reimagine and redefine that from the core truths of yourself. And the second part is becoming, is being, is how do you practice being and living that existence now, which is a lot of deprogramming work from the previous identities you embodied and basically retraining yourself to embody you in an integrated way. And there's both a lot of compassion and empathy through that process because there is a loss, right? That there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be, who you were and who you want to become. And that's scary because the gap doesn't have a support system. Like it can feel like you're going to free fall. But the beauty in navigating this gap and recognizing there's nothing that holds you is also, in this space, is also where you build your deep trust in self. By getting your reps in over and over and over in this gap, in the spaces where you don't fully embody your true identity, you build the muscles, you build the skills, you get in the reps to bridge it. And once you realize how you can bridge it, you realize that the free fall doesn't actually matter because you can handle this space. You can handle not having this thing that kind of supports you, this identity that supports you. Because what supports you when you become your true self is just you. You as you. You don't need proof of all these things you've done to support this new being. You don't need accolades and a dollar amount and other, a family to show that you can support you. The true embodiment of self is dynamic. It's not rooted to any one thing. You get to be a kinetic, dynamic being interacting with the world however you want because home is you. You're the base. No matter where you are the base. And what you learn when you're navigating this gap is even if it feels like a free fall, you can catch yourself at any time and bring yourself back here. The skills and the strength and the trust that you build in this gap is what help you realize that you already have the foundation because the foundation was always you. Such that you can be with anyone, anywhere, doing anything, in any circumstance. and you will be okay. You will be solid. You will figure it out. And if you're navigating either chaos because shit has gone seriously wrong in your life, or success where you've had your grand success and you're now like, what the fuck now? And you'd like some help, really, guidance. You want to clarify kind of who is this true person you want to become, that you're here to become, and you want a guide to navigate this gap from here to here. I'd love to meet you.